Thank you very much, Jérémie, for accepting my invitation. We have been working together for a while, and I wanted to take this opportunity to have essentially a call together. Jérémie, tell me about yourself, your role at the company, and also your background.
I'm a product sales leader in Tescan. So Tescan is a Czech company working on the manufacturing and the development of microscopes. As a product sales leader, I'm promoting different type of products. So briefly, I'm actually coming from the life science community. I did my PhD in France, in Paris, working in Bonn. But during my PhD and then my postdoc, I was working a lot on SEM and FIB, and when I finished my postdoc, I say, okay, now I need to find a company where I can work with this really nice tool all my life, and I was really happy because I found a position on this company that I am right now. So it's called ORSAY PHYSICS. ORSAY PHYSICS is a subsidiary from the Tescan Group. So I began to work in ORSAY PHYSICS as an application engineer. So now it's something like 10 years ago. And during this 10 years time, I was first working as an application engineer. Then I became the application manager. And since 3-4 years now, I was in charge also of as a sales manager to sell the different ORSAY PHYSICS products which are quite specific in the Tescan portfolio.
When and what happened out of science, in life science, you decided to go to industry? What drove this decision?
I would say that it was first because 10 years ago in France, life science community was not really pushing on the use of these specific tools. These tools, the microscope, the FIB colon, etc., was more for the material community or the semiconductor community. But actually in life science, no one was using it, especially in cryo. And I was a little bit, let's say, frustrated. So that's why I decided to go to ORSAY PHYSICS. Because like that, I was sure that I was working with this really nice tool. Actually, it was the case. I mean, I was working every day on this instrument. I was really enjoying working on it.
What is your role, and what does it really mean to essentially a person that doesn't know how the structure of Tescan internally is?
Actually, it's quite simple, I would say. My role is to help local sales to sell the product, let's say. So it means that you will have some local sales who actually will try to find some potential customer for the product. And as a product sales leader, I will help them from different point of view. I will help them, for example, first to have the best price for the customer. This is actually the most important part of the job. It's actually making some discounts or to validate some prices. But also, I will visit the customer to promote the different product with the local sales. So, for example, in ORSAY PHYSICS, I'm selling mainly the ultra high vacuum solution. So this is quite specific market, but also the ion implantation tool. And due to the fact that these both markets are, let's say, quite a niche market, that's why also we decided to work with you, because thanks to Scitodate, we can find some potential customer that maybe the local sales are not aware. And thanks to this approach, I can give the contact, for example, to my local sales everywhere worldwide. And so like that, they can make, let's say, the first contact, discuss with the customer, and then if the first contact is a success, they can bring me there.
Can you tell me in simple words, for a non-scientist out there, about Queen, your latest product?
We have two main products, okay? The first one it's dedicated for the ultra high vacuum. So imagine that it's a chamber where the quality of the vacuum is really high, more or less exactly like you can find inside the space. So it means that you don't have any water, you don't have any oxygen, you don't have any carbon inside the chamber. So this chamber is really clean. And this is really interesting for some application, specific application, where the customer don't want to have some, let's say, interaction with their sample. If we have to make an example, battery research, the people are really concerned about, for example, some interaction between the battery and the oxygen inside around the atmosphere. And so they want to be sure that the battery will not interact with the atmosphere, even exactly. So they need to have a really clean vacuum to be sure that the sample will not be modified because of the different atoms that you can find inside the chamber.
Okay, and the second product?
The second product, it's a quite specific product. It was designed to answer to a specific field that maybe you know well. It's for the quantum technology. So in this product, we can perform some ion implantation. So this ion implantation can be used, for example, to prepare some sensor. So the sensor are a really important application right now for many types. So it can be used for the quantum computing. It can be used for the magnetic measurement. And unfortunately, right now, the way to do it, it's quite limited. And so that's why we developed this specific product. Because with this product, the users can make some really specific doping with different type of ion, different type of species, and really on some, let's say, localized area. And this is why it's really interesting, because like that, the users can really implant different type of species inside their materials. So like that, they can, let's say, modify the materials according to the needs. And this is what it's important.
So if I understand it correctly, so it's essentially you have a material, like an original material, like a silicon, like, crystal. And then you have essentially a gun of iron that you have very narrow, that essentially can shoot electrically charged, essentially atoms if they don't have their electrons. And then this iron gets and penetrates through the surface of the material, right?
Exactly.
Of the sample. And you can control where you put these ions inside. And that changes the structure, the mechanical properties of the sample, the material, because essentially you are substituting or you're adding some other external ions with the different characteristics inside the material, or you can change the electric structure, the electron structure of the surface.
Exactly.
What is the biggest challenge of releasing such a new product?
So first of all, we are doing, we developed this tool because, of course, we had some demands, some users. So that's why we begin to work on this product. So we develop the tool. And what is actually after really important, it's to promote the tool.
So you have a few initial customers.
Exactly.
They came to you and they said, we want this.
We have something called key opinion leader. These are really important person in the field, and they are giving us some feedbacks about ideally our wish list, let's say, will be to have this different specification in our perfect instrument. And then as soon as, we develop this tool, so of course the key opinion leader are really interested, but the idea is, of course, to promote this tool to more than these key opinion leaders. This is what it's most important, especially for Tescan, because Tescan is the most famous company in the microscope community. Let's say there is maybe 5 main suppliers for microscope, and right now Tescan is maybe the third. We need to have a better visibility. This is why we are going in some congress to promote the tool.
And how long normally it takes, like before we would work together? to get some good traction in the market?
It can take some time because, as I mentioned, promoting the tools in all these different ways. Let's say that usually it takes maybe 1 year. To begin to have some better visibility.
When working with Scitodate, what's the difference for you?
It's like we are making some congress every day because in this way you can really touch directly the potential customer. It's a more active way. Usually what we are doing, the customer are contacting us or they are coming to us on a booth. In general, let's say the customer, we are not really active to find the customer. So the local sales, maybe sometimes, they are going to some university, but it's not really active because they will not look to some specific field. They will just maybe visit some departments.
Current networks and such. And this is one thing. How would a person end up on your website for a product that they don't know you have? Because this is a new product. For example, I would not have known Tescan has such a new product, such a cool product, if I wouldn't work with you. So how would a normal person would essentially end up on your website?
If someone is looking for a tool with, for example, these keywords, our website will appear the first one.
Understood. How many such conversations did you have because of Scitodate? How many meetings? How many people did you meet thanks to this work?
So I will say that you keep me quite busy during this last year. More than 200 meetings was done. So it's quite a lot. What it was also really interesting, it's, sometimes when you are going in a congress, you are always meeting the same people or the same type of people. Here, with this approach, I would say that my audience was really wide. Really, it was larger. I can discuss with people who actually maybe are not going to Congress for some revenue because of some they don't have some funds to go to some Congress, or they are not going to this typical Congress because, of course, in my case, I cannot go everywhere.
Some of the ways that people go to conferences, like companies that we know, all of us, is that they say it's not only finding new potential customers, but also brand building exercise. Yeah. But here you are essentially saying that actually you were doing brand building exercise because you were going proactively and not only promoting this product, but telling them about all the other products that you have.
Exactly.
What was the tangible result of these meetings?
The first one will be more, let's say, market analysis. As I mentioned, the fact that thanks to this more than 200 meetings, I got a lot of feedbacks about what are the application of the community, what they are doing, what they are looking for, what are their needs. So for me, it was really, really interesting because I can really see, okay, my product can fulfill their demands. Mm-hmm. The second, I would say it's more commercial way because at the end, my goal is also to sell the product. And I will say that among these 200, I have also some, let's say, what we call hot leads. People are really interested by our product, and now they are looking for some fundings at the end to buy the tool.
Okay, so essentially for such a product, new out of the box, you need 5 years to do something that we could do together in 1 year.
More or less, definitely. And
but your product also is very good.
Yeah.
It's like, tell me about the process from your point of view, what we went together from your point of view, and from your side? Actually, I never asked this.
We work together to define some specific keywords, and then Scitodate succeed to prepare some quite important list of potential names. We contacted these persons to see first if they were interested to discuss with me about their application, and then about my product. Really interesting because my LinkedIn account go through something like 200 to something like 2,000, 3,000 people. So definitely I think it's also important because
it's what they're interested and relevant to your network, right?
Exactly. So it means that now when we are making some publication related to our products, now we can really target the community, because this is actually the community is now following my account. And
so you have your own essentially conference now anytime that you can get.
Thanks to Scitodate, I succeed to be connected to these people. Maybe I can do it by myself, but it will take me so much time.
We built some AI agents actually behind the scene for this that analyzed your white papers on the product and then extracted from that like essentially what the product can be used for. And then from that we essentially found, okay, who has patent on this? Because like one of the issues that we see across the industry is that like academics are easier to find and reach, but industrial customers are harder to go because they are more secretive. They are not as often going to conferences and all of that because they don't have as much budget for going to conferences, let's say. And then from that, we could find essentially which companies and who inside those companies are working on certain things. For example, IBM has, I don't know how many thousands, tens of thousands of employees. And who from those tens of thousands would work on, let's say, qubits, solid state quantum computers. And then we could find it based on the patents and then identify the company and the people. And then essentially, because we had the patents, we could tell them, guys, like, we looked at your patents. This is how it is. And essentially go and talk to them directly about their product. We are behind the scene, but for me, being part of success of such advanced technologies is what makes my day and like my team's day, because at the end of the day, we are scientists as well. We don't get to work on those cool tools or use them or buy them. But being part of their commercial success, that's essentially what drives us. And really thank you for giving us this opportunity to be part of this, right? And Jérémie, also, this is, I really mean this. This is one of the most enjoyable collaborations that we have done. And I enjoyed every second of it.
Thank you. I really enjoy working with you, Mehdi, and all the team also. Thanks to you.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for watching us.
Yeah, thanks.